So today is Sunday, November the 19th, 2023. And the time is a little bit after 3. I got over on my other screen besides my studio monitor. I'm watching the 49ers kick them Buccaneers butt. But anyway, um, tomorrow, Monday, November 20th, 2023. The Ranch HOA meeting up at Denny's on Pittman Road. Um, and come on, neighbors, all of y'all need to get out there tomorrow for this meeting. Okay. Um, if you read the newsletter, um, they have and put it in writing of all things that a homeowner has caused them to spend well over $30,000 in legal fees, but they left the homeowner's name out, but it's obvious who they were talking about. So that's an additional legal wrangle to go have down the way. But what I want to do, um, I was going to do this early on, but I'm actually just too through with these people. But due to the fact now that they want to raise the uh, dues, $11 a month per homeowner, based on these issues and the election cost that goes up, and that's a whole different area that I'm going to tackle, but I ain't going to tackle that right now. What I want to do is with this is I want to do it from the business perspective. Um, and what I did was, um, as a lot of people know, that I filed the complaint with the Solano County District Attorney's Office, um, and give them that big, huge stack that I posted in a 13-page complaint that some people have had the privilege of seeing and others have not because I don't want to disseminate it all over the place, but in strategic places, word of mouth travels fast. But what I'm going to do here is strictly drop two PDFs, okay, and combine it's close to 100 pages. I'm going to skim through them real quick, real quick. Um, and I know that real quick is going to probably be like 30 minutes, but I just want to point out some stuff. But you will have the ability, if you go down to the comments or area of this broadcast video, um, there'll be two separate Dropbox links. The first portion is how this fiasco started from the business level, starting last year, January 2022. Then the first one is basically for the first 25 days. The second PDF is when they brought in the attorney for whatever reason, and you judge yourself as to the evidence as to why the business was not paid, why they had a second vendor working on the camera system at the same time as the original vendor who was going to relinquish the systems on February 1st, 2023, but they snuck them in on January the 8th and was paying him and the business. So let me go through this, and like I said, I'm gonna have two links. I implore everyone that's a ranch homeowner, you should be at that meeting tomorrow. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna make up some questions, a bunch of questions. I'm gonna make copies, and I'm gonna pass them all out to the homeowners there. Okay, I'm not gonna give none to the board members. Okay, when I'm there passing out these questions, don't let these board members see those questions. Okay? Just gonna give them time to prepare. I want you guys to hit them hard with the surprises. And let's see what they answer. But I doubt that they'll answer them. But you can also form your own questions based on what I am going to go through in a minute. So, without further ado, let me let me see here. Wait a That's from a TikTok. That was from last night, Friday in Oakland, California. Just a little beat to get me in the mood. It was a masquerade ball. TikTok, baby. That's where you find me. So anyway, I was talking about these two PDFs that you're gonna be able to download, and if by chance the folks from the San Francisco Police Department happens to get this YouTube with these links, you may want to download all these PDFs because based on with the board members coming to the police department following that complaint of threats and harassment after I beat them in court, they did not provide you with all the information, and thereby you terminated me, which is a wrongful termination. And of course, I'll be responding with legal action against the city of San Francisco and the San Francisco Police Department based on the Ranch Homeowners Association board members representing the HOA and making that complaint, as well as it would be obvious that the business will be pursuing legal action as well. So, a lot of legal action is going to be happening in the future based on this. So, let me open this up here. So, like I said, I'm going to go try to go through here super quick. This first PDF is based on the fact from starting from 2028 when I prepared a quote and to take over the all the camera systems here at the ranch. Some other vendors, I guess, apparently put in bids, and I beat them. So they say. I don't know. That's what they say. So let me do this here. I need to bring this up here. So this is the proposal that I put, and I'm not gonna go through the. Just want to make sure I get this all up nice and tight. All right. So, uh, so I scroll through. See here. So this is pretty much what I put together of what I would do if I won the bid to do all the cameras. And so everything's spelled out there. My pricing that's on the website, uh, lewissurveillance.com. But I think it's been updated since 2018. I haven't updated this thing in over a year because I was uh, working and I have not actually resumed any camera stuff as of yet. I don't know when I'm gonna actually do that. I'm too busy doing these lawsuits, but here is the uh the preliminary cost, because even though it says got it in September, put everything in, I actually had started doing work for them in April of 2018, and I discharged this modest amount for the months of work that I did, just based on this, but it was a lot more. Um, and so, but the key thing here is the signed contract. Signed contract is by Rich Cardosi, CNC Property Management. See that there? Uh, he signed it date October 4th, 2018. Okay, October 4th, 2018, and I guess this is his initial. So you got that right. So this last page is the key how everything started. All right. You can read the above stuff, but there's really no need to. You, this last page is going to be the key. Okay. But I put everything there. So on January 3rd, 3 years later, I got a termination service letter from uh, Rich Cardosi, CNC Property Management, on behalf of the Ranch Owners Association. And so, as you can basically see here, of what it says, that they going to terminate the services effective February 1st, 2022. Okay. A new security firm will take over for the maintenance and repairs. They thanked me for the service. And it says, please do not remove or disable any HOA components. Okay. So this is a note that homeowners should write down. Do not remove or disable any HOA owned components. All right. Of the system, including changing any passwords or network access information for the remainder of this month. Please turn over any keys or any HOA owned equipment on or before February 1st as well. All right. Clear. It's clear that the new vendor will not start work until February 1st. Any person, common sense, good education, an attorney can understand this, right? Okay. So let me move on. I don't want to spend too much time here. Uh, and so, and I got that from Rich Cardosi. He coming on a Saturday, the 8th. Okay, Saturday the 8th, and trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. Oh, I want to call you first because you got something in the mail coming that is terminating you, and blah 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 blah. But never got it. All right. So you can see here. All right, January 13th. I'm asking him about it. All right, and uh, you can read, the emails as to what I said. Uh, and then he responded back on the 13th. Okay, and he said he sent the signed copy of the letter last week, but so you have a copy now. All right. So he said he sent it last week. Okay. Uh so based on the letter, all right, you would have it's now this is where I want people's minds to start putting things together. The letter is dated January 3rd. All right. He called me on Saturday, on January 8th. So that'd have been the you had the 7th, you had the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd. Okay. And now remember that January 3rd. It's gonna write down to January 3rd. It's gonna be another point. Right. So scrolling on, pretty much tell them, okay, got it, blah 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 blah. But then on the January the 15th, okay, um, uh, and actually on the let's say January the 7th, I was working maintenance. Okay, January the 7th, I was working maintenance. Okay, on in the Dawson Creek area. So the January 7th date is going to be a key point as well because remember, I got notified on January the 8th via telephone. Okay. January 7th, I was working on the camera system in Dawson Creek of the development. January 8th, I get the call from Rich Cardosi. Okay. Now, January the 15th, okay. Now, notice that in the emails, Rich Cardosi doesn't say anything about anybody working on the system for January the 15th. Okay. It's clear. But January 15th, find that um, the new camera contractor um, started working on the system and disabling the camera system. January 15th. He was supposed to start February 1st. Remember, the termination letter said February 1st, the new contractor will take over the camera system. But January 15th, to my surprise, he's already working on the camera system, disabling it because I'm getting all types of alerts and stuff that the camera system's going down. Okay. So contact text Rich. And so we have this text going back and forth. And he, texts back that, yeah, that he's working on a system now that he started. How could he start on January 15th when you in the letter it clearly states from the HOA board that he starts February 1st. Okay. Uh, we'll just go with that. So but then when I well you'll see us at the emails because I got locked out when I went out that day to start retrieving m- my personal property that I was using for the business. The business didn't own it. I own it, even though that I may have Lewis surveillance stamped on it or whatnot, But anyway, so it would come clear about my logs here, okay? And he winds up saying here, he had my locks here at the office with the keys, okay? Now, this is January, I think it's the 16th or something, the next day or something. 'Cause I'm asking where my locks are because I go to all the boxes and then I find that I'm locked out of all the boxes. New locks are on there. My locks are gone. Again, February 1st was when the new camera vendor was supposed to start. All right. So you can read through all that. Just go there. Now, remember my last page played in the contract is clear. All right. So the the violation, the breach of my contract was here. Section F, G, and I. It's clear. This agreement is subject to payment in advance of the monthly fees. Non-payment shall automatically terminate this agreement for further notice, and all services sales will be suspended. The customer also agrees not to permit any third party to tamper with the security system without the written consent of Lewis Surveillance. Right? I. The customer will inform Lewis Surveillance in advance if there will be a change of broadband suppliers or significant work taking place that may affect the camera site locations. Okay? It's clear. Okay? It's clear. All right. All right. So moving on. Uh here's my email about the contractor um, s- um, starting on the 15th. Okay. And so here I put this letter out and explained about the tampering and uh, due to the fact that the new contractor began working on the system without my knowledge. All right. Breach of contract services are terminated. It's clear. It's not a resignation. It's not a quit. It's based on the contract. Okay. All right. And so all of the equipment that's currently in place, with the exception of support, will remain in place as requested. On Sunday, January 16th, 2021, I will visit all of the cameras locations and remove all support equipment and remote software from the boxes, which were on the computers, the laptop computers that had disappeared unto my to my knowledge, which were replaced by one new box. But I wasn't able to get into there at that time. So I'm going to scroll through here. I'm at page 31. And then again, I plop this inside the PDF a few times just as a reminder what what the contract said. This letter inform you that the board of directors for the Ranch Homeowners Association has decided to terminate their engagement with your firm effective February 1st, 2022. A new security firm has been engaged to take over the maintenance and repairs of the current system at that time. What? 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 Me? Me? All right. So I popped out the invoicing, wanting the final 1,700 a month that I was getting for maintaining the camera systems, which was way, 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 way too low because I did way too much work uh based on that small monthly amount. All right. Um and so payment that's supposed to pay me the full 1,700. That's all I was asking. Boom. Out the door, I was gone. No problem. So, to my surprise, they didn't want to pay. Right. And that was based on the fact that um, they said that I quit, and so how can you quit when the contract spells it out clearly? All right, so I wind up banging out another email to them, and that was here on the 16th. That's because when I went to all the camera boxes, that's when I discovered that my security locks for control of the camera systems were removed, but there's master key attached in a lockbox that where the HOA board and whoever does have access to the boxes, but those were removed. Okay. And changed with new locks, as you saw inside the text that Rich Cardosi, CNC Property Management, texts me that he had. He had them, right? So, And the fact that I couldn't get inside the boxes, I said that if I cannot get my equipment, I'm going to charge $250 a day for it. Okay. As well as it's $250 for, for every time that I visit each of those camera sites to see that if the new contractor was there so I can get my equipment. Okay. Never got a response about that. I'm going to charge you each day up until $5,000 because I did that amount in that area because of small claims. So never heard anything back. Let me see here. Let me scroll down here. I'm at page 39. This is something that's sent out. Uh, uh, that I wind up sending out to them to show them what equipment on external uh belongs to Lewis Surveillance and what was their equipment. Because as they said inside their letter, don't remove any of their equipment. So I did a diagram to show them what's Lewis Surveillance, what the new contractor had put up there, because he already had started putting stuff up there in conjunction with my equipment that was up, which made no sense. He's installing additional Wi-Fi because here's a unit here and unit here. All right. And so, and that's over at the park, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah. Um, and then across the street for the other one. So this is the first invoice that they got charged for on the 15th, the 16th, because each time I went. But now I obtained this copy of the email based on the the temporary restraining order that was put on me for 9 months by the president of the board, who falsely got it, saying that I was threatening and harassing her. But that was in March. But I didn't get this for discovery until June of 2022. So, and the reason why the president of the board of the ranch had inserted this email was to, um, I guess, show the judge that uh, that I was being difficult. That that never came up as to why she gave me all of this discovery stuff, but everything that she wind up giving me for discovery was not needed, but it only provided more evidence for me. And so I sent this email about the charging and whatnot, and security locks and all of this. And so Rich Cardosi emails her right here, president of the board, Tina Incarnacion, all right, on January the 17th. Okay. Now, I discover all this on the 15th, all right. And a question of that, if Rich Cardosi said, well, I don't, do business on a weekend or this or that. January 8th, when he called me about the termination, was on a weekend. So, and to the fact is that he's a property manager. So he's available 24/7 for emergencies. Okay. So, uh, so he writes to her, hi again, Tina. Email. Here's the next email sent by Lewis yesterday. So he acknowledged, getting it. All right. He is trying to claim that since he can no longer access the boxes, he intends to charge more fees. I will be talking to him more and to try him calm him down and get the admin passwords that Ryan needs. But starting to be concerned because he's obviously not being cooperative. We may need to get the attorney involved. Now, he why would they have to get the attorney involved? And you haven't even talked to me verbally since all of this since the 13th. Okay, this is all email, and then the last two emails that I sent you, you did not respond or say anything. So that eh, you see it right there. That's the property manager, Rich Cardosi, CNC Property Management. All right. See right here, Rich at ccpropertymanagement.com. All right. So uh, he goes, I will send a note to the whole board once I talk to Lewis and try to get the info we need. Well, if they would have got the info, had they told me before to provide them whatever, but then all of a sudden I find out that this new contract has already started on the camera systems and already took the computer laptops offline that had all the information on them. Okay, so it's kind of like, hello, most of the information you need, I would have got him into the computer and shown him this is that, and here are the administrative passwords. All right, but what these board members forgot, they have the administrative passwords for the logins. I gave those to them years ago. So I don't know. So anyway, I was sending a note to the whole board, blah, 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 and I am already worried that he may be oh no, back up. So again, in the same email, shall I also reach out to the attorney? All right. What? Twice in this email. He wants to run and get the attorney and haven't even talked to me. So what was up with that? All right, so Lewis apparently wants to battle over this, and I'm already worried that he may be stirring up issues on social media. Who said that I wanted to battle? Yeah, I'm clear in my emails. So that's why I'm just dropping these PDFs with all the emails so all you homeowners can can scan through them. I mean, tomorrow's the meeting, so it's gonna be impossible to really go through stuff. And like I said, that's why I'm going to make some questions for you guys. So scrolling on, okay. Uh, then my property was stolen, and I'm gonna say this until the day I die because uh Ryan Boyce, the new contractor, and this was like on the 18th, all right, that I talked to him and then I find out from the discovery, and I'm sorry to be jumping, but inside Tina's um discovery in June, there's a whole transcript that of me and Ryan Boyce conversation. Now he's the new security contractor. He was recording me, okay, for them because I wind up getting that as part of discovery in a court. So I don't know why he was recording me. I know why I recorded the board members. I got a whole bunch of stuff based on the stuff that Secretary of the Board Jim Longwood was saying, but that's a whole other area within itself. Oh my God, it's just too much, y'all. It's too much. But I'm one to keep up with it. That's that's what I did for 33 years. Gather evidence. That's what I do. That's what I do. All right. So let me see here. So and this is some screenshots of camera system that day that when he started to work. Now, pay attention to this, okay? Now this was in Discovery as well, but however, one in Discovery has Rich's uh, Cordosi's signature that it was approved. Uh, and that was given to me 6 months later, opposed to this being pre-approved in January. So this unstamped one here means that on when I got this one, that and I want to say probably in February I got this, but here, and I scanned this in wrong. Then I got a couple of papers that's upside down, but you'll get the point. This one here, January 3rd, 2022. So January 3rd, got the termination letter. January 3rd, they got a quote. How does that work? Any thoughts? That's a question that needs to be asked, right? So here, all right, $3,159.28 to do all of this. All that they have, that he has on there, there was no need for it. There was nothing wrong with any of the camera systems. Nothing needed to be replaced except one PTZ camera. They took down the wireless network. They took out all the for the Dell laptops that has since disappeared. But however, I'll show you that they were there. All right. So let me keep moving on. Uh, uh, that just more. So you might have to flip your head upside down. Now, here's the other funny thing, because back in February, um, like I had to provide COA, um, general liability, which I provided for 'em every year. I was bonded for up to $2 million. Okay, liability. Now, when I asked about his as from the homeowners, he didn't have none, but they said he did. They waited. Okay, and that's a whole different story area that can go into. But this is March 9th, 2022, is when Ryan Boyce finally got his general liability insurance. So he had been working on all the camera systems with no insurance. And that's going to come back to bite him, because he's going to be involved in some legal issues from me as well. And due to the fact that he had no business liability, that's going to roll over into his homeowners insurance, because he's a owner resident here as well. All right. So, well, I don't know if he's still an owner here, but during that time he was, because I have a members list for that period of time that they sent me, that his name is on this HOA members list. All right. Like I told you guys, there's too much to this. Too much. So anyway, this is some additional stuff that I put in there based on what I was writing inside the email. Uh, Let me just scroll through this. Oh, this is basically showing that the camera systems were working, okay, that day, as he was taking them down. All right, because you see the timestamp on the 15th. That's why I put those in there. So the ones that have disappeared is the ones that he took down that was already working. All right, so keep that in mind. Now, so here is that one again, but flipped around. So now you can wind up seeing it better. Now, no, 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 no. That's my favorite word. Now look at this. So February 1st, okay, February 1st, he winds up doing a invoice. All right. However, January 8th, same day, Rich Cardosis calls me to tell me that I am no longer the vendor. he has initial setup and diagnostic for 7 hours on a camera system that was fully functional. Now, I'm going to tell you guys from in between the 8th of January to the 15th, twice, all right, the camera system went down. One went down like about 3 in the morning, and I got an alert. All the camera systems were down. Um, and I kind of looked, but then eventually it came back up. Because I started to go out, but then it came back up, and that's not so much unusual with camera network systems. But later on, I got to adjusting and then looking at the logs, like it's power loss. So I just took it as to the fact that you know, power power must have went off. I never even thought about looking at the video because I might have actually caught him coming there at 3 in the morning, or whatever time that was happening, messing with the system. So right here, so here he has January 8th and then January the 31st, all right, 2 hours, $450. I don't understand that. Uh, then Boyce Consulting, 1049 Greenleaf Court, Vacaville. That's what's on the general liability insurance now. Then there's uh another one. Let me go back here real quick. Let's double check something real quick. Yeah. Um, then another one. Okay. Additional reset work January labor, but he starts February 1st. But January labor. Okay. So he has the 10th, 3 hours. The 11th, 3 hours. Install additional cameras. He didn't install no additional cameras on he started installing on January 15th. So this is a lie. This is a lie right here. Okay? Because you have you have the screenshot. I still have the screenshots of the cameras that were working on January the 15th. And I never noticed any new cameras. So the 11th set up added cameras, 2 hours. The 15th on site reset setup, 7 hours. That was the day that I text Rich. Remember the 15th? That was the day that I text Rich. All right. 7 hours. The 16th replaced the Wi-Fi setup controller and switches and add switches. All that was in there. All that was in there. Why was all this stuff? There was nothing wrong with it because it's only about 3 years old. No, in some cases, 2 years old. Okay, four of them. 4 hours there. Take down antennas. On the 18th, 2.5. Uh, the 21st, configure camera settings. 2 hours. 7 a.m. to 11. Install backup battery. Wi-Fi. 4 hours. The 23rd, the CMS and second NVR, 2 hours. What do you say? Second NVR. As far as I know, that it was one. So there's some shady stuff going here, homeowners. That you need to inquire about. I'm pointing this stuff out. I'm not worried about this portion anymore. I already done my due diligence to this association. So it's time for you homeowners to step up and start doing what you need to do. Right. The 24th, 25th, he created a second site. You created a second site. You didn't create no second site. It's Dawson Creek. So you got Creek site, router for the Creek. So it's like it was already the, the router there. All right. he just probably had to reset it to bump what I have for the passwords and stuff, and to get it done. So, uh, 27th, 28th. So it just kind of like he was just hooking. All right, $2,500. So for the month of January 2022, the board did not get approval from the homeowners first and foremost to replace the camera system. Second, they didn't get the approval to hire the new vendor. And third, they didn't get approval to pay for the money, the money. And at the same time, I was getting paid for the month. Okay. So, and they allegedly said that I quit. So that would have been $1,700, but that did not um, occur. My mic went out. Hold on here. Got to get a little closer. And so again, now you see here, this 255. You probably can't yet. It's behind me. That 255 behind me. That's from the president of the board, Tina Encarnacion's discovery from June. So that's how I got this. If she did not provide this evidence in that court discovery in June, I would have never known or had any of this evidence. All right. As a homeowner, as a business portion, no. But as a homeowner in my rights, she, well, I don't even know why she gave it. She's trying to prove, I guess, that, well, he already started working, but the judge didn't even put two and two together. And he, he was a little slow. That's probably why I mean, I could actually had shortened it if I'd either gotten a lawyer or done some other stuff, but I just wanted to see what they were going. So this is the inventory sheet that Ryan Boyce did. Boyce. And so here, like here, you see here's these names here, like Boyce, Cybex, Lois, Cybex. I don't know what the Cybex is, but Lewis. You see all that Lewis. That's all the equipment, and God bless his heart for doing that because I didn't have it like this. Um, that detail. Um, I mean, I knew everything was, and everything was inside the computers itself, and so you had to go to the computer to get this stuff, but he must have either gotten into it, a computer, but he definitely itemized it very correctly. And it has still on here the equipment that they're holding that's mine, that's of issue. So, and then, yeah, the four Dell laptops, those are right here. Uh, the s- one, two, three, three, four. The video recorders, those are the Ranch's laptops. The the computer is mine, the one that they refuse to give back, and I'll be able to show that later. Let me see here. Jesus, almost going an hour, but I'm at page 57, so let me scroll through here. So, and just to let you guys know, these are the rare receipts that Rich Cardosi got. Uh, see here. Uh, this was the trespassing incident that had documented when Jim Long denied me getting my equipment, and so a- as you saw on Ryan Boyce's uh, uh, invoice, that he removed a couple of radios, but I only got one back. Uh, and this is from actually later this year from Jim Long because he winds up taking me on social media, and just like I said, this comment is like January, February of 2023, after Assembly Bill 1410, state law, talks about retaliation against homeowners who goes against board members. That's Assembly Bill 1410. And Jim Long violated it all over the map. Okay. And then here he is. Then James Lewis, the retired San Francisco cop, is now going to start putting criminal cases against the board of directors. So we have three things here that all links back to you. And that is why he has continued, because it's simply put, James Lewis, Lucifer's got butthurt. This this is your board member, ranch homeowner. Now think about it. If you as a homeowner was being talked to by one of these board members like that, and you're exercising your right as a homeowner. But right now, I'm talking from the business perspective. So let me move on. Let's see. And this is for another $1,500 that they owe me. So all in all, they they didn't pay me all of the money for January. Only paid 900 some dollars because they said that I quit, and prorated the money uh from and you'll see that. But I'm gonna have to do a separate video for the attorney portion, because that's like another pages and stuff. But I should be able to go through that real quick. Um but all in all, they still owe my business, Lewis Surveillance, about $6,500. And none of this came up in the police department. They ain't telling them nothing about any of this portion when they made the complaint against me at the San Francisco Police Department and got me terminated, because they all went there and lied and said I threatened and harassed them. And then was doing them all up on social media, which was within my legal right. So anyway, let me see here. So this will talk about the 1500 that is old. This here is that date that the president of the board, Tina Incarnation, called me while on vacation, while I was in Las Vegas and needed this done. And it's for us right there. You see right here, Tina Incarnation. All right. So that's established. And then this is when I came back. Uh, these are the pictures of me talking to the homeowner who that they had the issue, and then Tina told them when I'd be back home, and so they were actually there waiting for me when I came back from Las Vegas, because they was trying to get this video. And then this here is the invoice, payment due. It's right there, 31st, 757.50 for all the work that I did on vacation, and it's all spelled out in my pricing. Actually, I charged cheaper than what I should have. All right. And that is it. So actually, I'm gonna have to do a separate video. I was gonna attach both of those. It's only gonna be one on here, and then I'm gonna do the other one real quick. So that is it. Let me close this out. Let me go rewind the 49er game real quick. Then I'm gonna jump on the other one.